All right, coaches, 5-10-5 drill, the pro agility and max front squats, today's workout. Normal ADW, crossover steps, shuffle, 90-90s, warm the hips up. It's a lot of hip drive movements, a lot of different side to side stuff. When it comes to the 5-10-5, let's talk about that for a second. We got to set a standard that all the kids are there. And this is what the standard is at the next level. So when we start, whichever direction you're going, we need to be square and that hand has to be touching the line. All that makes us do is not get super far over. Same hand, direction you're going, has to be down, okay? The first 5 yards, side run, touch that line, okay? So we're here, it's gonna be side run, usually about 1.5 to 2 steps. When they get here, the outside hand has to be touching that line. They gotta stay facing that way. Another big thing that they cannot do is they cannot put 2 hands down. So they can't be like this. That creates an advantage that they get lower naturally and drive off, okay? So they got to keep that free hand down. They got to touch the line with their hand. They can be over it, they just got to touch it with their hand. Same thing down on that side. Good hockey stop, touch it with this hand cannot be down. And then of course they finish through. So the 3 big things is they got to touch 3 lines. The first line, here, that line, then that line, and then they finish through, okay? It does not count in the combine. They get 2 attempts. It does not count if they don't touch that line. So we got to really make sure that they're touching that line and getting down, okay? When it comes to the application today, let's do some cone drills. All right, we got the 4 cone drill with the bucket, with the lacrosse balls or the tennis balls. Any kind of change of direction with the lacrosse ball or tennis ball, totally fine with that one. But let's just have some fun, play some games using that side-to-side side run and that turn and run aspect of the pro agility. On the front squats, we do want to have that clean grip position, but if the athlete is not comfortable with it, don't have the shoulder mobility, they can't do that. It's totally fine to go to the Zercher-ish style, the crossover grip over the top. So ideally, we want to be here, okay, with that front squat, all right, but if they have to, they can cross one over, then the other, okay? The biggest key to this is their elbows have to stay up. We need to keep those elbows up when we do that front squat. For the younger athletes, by all means, because we are building to a heavy 5, they can do it in the goblet style. Like you put the heavier weights in there, we want to make sure that they can complete the front squat with form. So even with the dumbbell holding it here, driving those hips down and back, those elbows stay up to hold that dumbbell and bring it back. What you're going to find as it gets heavier, they start to do this and they're starting to hold it like that. Make sure we got to stay up tall. All right, drive the hips down and back. All right, keep the heels on the ground and drive through the ground to stand up. So by all means, go to dumbbell goblet, even if it's a heavier version on that. The terminal knee extensions or the TKEs, all right, all you're gonna do is strap a band on here. The athlete comes through it, puts their band on the back of their knee, get some resistance on there, and all we're doing is working that triple extension right through here. All right, we want to extend everything, push that knee back, fully flex the quad. Bringing it back, squeeze. Bringing it back, squeeze. Every time they got to squeeze that quad at the back end, the flexion part of the movement. And then on that Cossack squat, it is a Cossack stretch. So we do want to get all the way to here, drive it up, okay? We are turning that foot. The big thing with that Cossack squat is we're out, sit down into that one leg, driving it up. They can't get that movement without a dumbbell in their hand, or without a dumbbell in their hand. Naturally, don't have them gobble at it. Make sure they can do it fully before they go up. Scaling that down, if you want to go full depth all the way down, you can literally just do lateral lunges, coming down, driving it here, pressing it back up. On any kind of lunge laterally, make sure that their knee is not pushing that way or that way. Once they get out here, they should sit back into that squat. So we're looking at this, it looks like a single leg squat, and then driving it back up, okay?